Let's go live now to the Associate Editor at The Australian, Graham. Lloyd joins me this morning as he does every week. Graham, Parliament this week, the House of Reps sitting again in the economic debate, cost of living, and the government's plans on that front will be central.
That's right. Good morning, Kieran. Well, Parliament's back and there's a lot of peripheral issues that can capture people's attention, but the only thing that really matters is the economy. And on this front, the government seems to be scrambling to find a narrative that will carry it forward. We had the interest rate rise this week. There are still concerns about inflation, and the government's attention is focused on things like industrial relations policy, which can potentially make things worse, and the green transition, which has run off the rails and is possibly going to get more expensive. So, in a sense, the government needs to really formulate a plan that it can prosecute in the cost of living area over the next year or so, and it's pretty urgent that it gets this plan together quickly.
On the Pacific deal, that arrangement announced by the Prime Minister with Tuvalu last week, it's been described as a game changer in terms of Australia's influence in the region.
Well, certainly it's a demonstration of good faith and neighbourly behaviour by Australia. The government's been making a big deal about the deal, which is obviously very, very good for Tuvalu, but it also allows a bit of cover for the other things, and that is Australia has agreed to put a lot of money into an infrastructure fund for the Pacific. We've agreed to put another lot of money into the Green Climate Fund and advocate that projects from there be directed towards the Pacific Islands. These are things that there's less clarity on, but they are the ones that Australian taxpayers are going to be picking up the bill for.
The Prime Minister heads to San Francisco this week. You would think the last overseas commitment for the year for the PM, but you can see why he's accepted the invitation. It was made personally by Joe Biden. And it is going to be a big summit with Biden meeting with Xi Jinping.
That's right, and it sort of closes the circle on the international circuit that the Prime Minister has been on over recent weeks. It's important that Australia attends these summits. You can't begrudge the Prime Minister for going, but I'm sure he will be relieved that this is possibly the end of it. We can report back to the United States about our success in the Pacific and whatever was discussed in Beijing. But it is important, as you say, that Xi Jinping and President Biden will be meeting in person, and that's really the thing that will be of note from the meeting.
We've seen anti-Semitism here and around the world. Protests continue unabated.
Yes, we have. And look, huge numbers in London over the weekend. Very worrying protests in Melbourne on Friday night. This is something that's going to become increasingly difficult to contain as the conflict continues in the Middle East. The Jewish community is vocal in that it's feeling particularly unsafe, and it's very easy to see why. This is a huge security challenge, and we need to demonstrate that we can protect everybody in the community, and that's of vital importance at this moment.